Hello everyone, welcome back to Design and Crafts with Style. This is Chari, and I'm making me a coffee station. I don't know if I've mentioned it or not. So I'm making, out of Dollar Tree items. I'm making the stuff that I want to be, go in my coffee and chocolate, hot chocolate station. This is one of them. This is it was blue, okay? And you have, and it's pretty good size. It really is. I mean, it will make more than 1 pound of coffee for sure, maybe 2 pounds. But this one's for the chocolate that I made. And I got these little napkins also at Dollar Tree. Okay, I got the smaller ones when I made this one. Let me show you. And then yesterday I went to Dollar Tree. I happened to be around one in Waco, and so I found the bigger ones. And the bigger ones, it has the pattern all the way, but the smaller one, they only have it in the front. So it took quite a few of the little ones. See, just a little bit on the front. So it took quite a few for me to do actually the container, but hey, it worked out just beautiful anyway. And I still have quite a bit of the napkins left, so it's not like I'm not, I mean, all of this is still napkins that I have left. So it wasn't a bit totally lost, in other words. But if you're going to do this, and if you like it, or even another pattern for that matter, maybe try to get the bigger one, because you have more pattern to work with. Now, there's some of them that they only have it in the center. And I figured this one was going to be the same way, which would have been okay because you got all this here. But as it turned out, like I said, it was all the way around it. So I thought that was pretty darn good. And I'm really happy with it because so far, I kind of got started with the project a little bit. So you won't have to see me do the same thing over and over again. But anyway, and then also we got some of this burlap in the pink. I think on my wreath, I was showing you the burlap, the little bit of the burlap that I had, and it was from this project that I was working on. And so I was low because I only got one, so I went and got me another one. I love it. It's probably about it's 3 inches wide, by the way, so that's pretty darn good, and it's 3 yards long. So again, that's pretty good. And it took all but the little bit that you saw in the wreath to do my projects, and I used a lot of it. So anyway, I just wanted to show you what we're going to be working on. It's going to be a little bit different for this reason that since this is for the chocolate, I want to make it different for the coffee, of course. And so I can know which one it is and blah blah blah. The other pieces again, and then I will show all of this to you when I'm putting the station together in my kitchen. Okay, but we're gonna work on this. So I thought, okay, at least show you what I'm doing. Okay. Alrighty, but let's just get you back in here and let's get going. Okay. Let me get you down. All right. This is so much fun. You get to see me every time until you get tired of me. Let me see if I can get this down a little bit. I think it might work a little better. Oh yeah, absolutely. Okay, there we go. I started this one. As you can tell, it's the same container, okay, because I really do like this size. And I did a coat of chalk paint first. Now, if you want to, spray paint it, it's up to you. Make sure it has something that has to do with plastic and whatever. I didn't think I had to do it, because I had the chalk paint and it turned out perfect. So I went and did this, but I was going to show you something before I actually finish it off. And this is decoupage. You all done decoupage, okay? But, whoops. Okay, I ripped a little bit, but it's okay because it's going to be covered up. Now, as you can tell, if I did it this way, see, you're going to have a gap. Well, I'm not going to do it that way. I'm going to put it straight. And this little bit in here, okay, let me see. And this little bit in here, I'm just going to cut it off, okay? So that's what I was going to show. But before I do that, I'm actually going to cut this one. I mean, excuse me. I'm going to go ahead and glue this one with Mod Podge straight on. So then I'll know exactly how much I have to cut, okay? So let's see here. Let me put my Mod Podge in here. Okay, and because I do, and I done a little bit at a time, by the way, okay? Okay, so now what I'm going to do is just come here and make it as straight as I can this way, okay? So now with a pair of scissors, I'm just gonna pinch it just like that. And I'm just gonna go flat on it and cut it. Oh, the dirt is outside. Okay, and this way, whoops, excuse me. And this way, it's gonna be fine, all right? So, let me pull this up slightly, very, 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 very careful up. Let me finish doing this little bit in here. I did take, it had 2 plies, by the way, these napkins, and I took the little white one off. So, still, it's very thin, so be careful with it. And I found out that less, if you know, I used to be the other way around, put a lot of it. I found out that if you, very careful, just laid it on there, okay, and go back like this, you have less wrinkles, okay? So it works. And I saw it in a channel, and I wish I knew. I'll try to go back and make sure I let you know which channel it was, so you can, you know, be able to watch them. There's so many great channels up there. Maybe some of you already doing them. I hope you do, because they're awesome. And you learn from everybody, folks. And that's what is so wonderful. But this lady, and I'm not remember if it's in Spanish or in English, either way, I've seen them both. And that's what they said, that the decoupage with these tissues, especially the napkin, because they're so delicate, to not put as much of it as you would say, you know, put a lot of it, because not only you would cause to have bubbles, which I know that, but also, you know, it can rip off, and I know that too. I've been very lucky so far when I've done mine, but you know, it is hard, and this way is so much easier. Okay, now I'm gonna come back in here with this one, and the best I can, just bring it in, and just then very softly with your brush, just go ahead and put it on there, okay? In this way, when you're gonna come back in here now and we're gonna fix it, you know, we have to go ahead and lap this. Oh, excuse me. I for some reason I got a little dizzy here. I don't know why. Anyway, okay. All right, and there we go. So now we're gonna put this little piece in here. And so far I only use one piece, one napkin, and I did this and another little project that I'm working on that I'll show you here in a minute. Okay, so I'm gonna come back in here now with this. Right like so. Because I put very little, see? And now I'm just gonna cut the rest that I don't need. I'll come back here. Like, whoops. And I'm just gonna follow the, it's okay if you overlap it a little bit. Just don't overlap it too much, because you really can't tell, you know, if you do, it gets a little darker or something. So try not to do too much. Alrighty, see? Oops. And here we go. Okay, here we go. And really, you cannot tell. that much. I mean, I don't think you do. Okay. Actually pet it if you can, if you have places. Okay, so that's it. Now what I'm going to do, I have a little bowl here somewhere. I'm going to put a little bit of alcohol. I don't have any water handy, so alcohol is fine. And I'm just going to dip it by alcohol and just kind of, let's see right here. So that I can just, see? Water's a good thing. I mean, I just don't happen to have any water around in here with me. So, there we go. It just comes so easy. It's almost like you're cutting it without a blade, of course. There we go. But you can do this with water too, okay? I just happen to have alcohol here and I'm doing it with alcohol. I don't want to go back to the kitchen, so. Alright. See? Just with my nails, I'm just taking it off really easy. Put some more as you need it. Okay, and there we go. I do that too when I'm cutting it. I'm cutting a pattern. I use water with mine. I mean, you know, but I go around it with a brush around the pattern that I want, and then there we go. Oh, perfect. See, now I'm gonna go back with a little bit of the Mod Podge and smooth it out. Okay, there we go. Very, very good. And clean as a whistle. I say for the Mod Podge, but it needs to be dry. And that's pretty darn good. Let's see, let's go ahead and clip this. All right. There we go. Okay, so this is it. That's all I'm gonna do to this right now. I mean, except for putting some putties on it. Okay. Now I have a lot of this black rhinestone, you know, ribbon, and which I had gotten a long time ago at Dollar Tree, I believe. You know, but it's been a while. But they didn't have any more. So I think I may have something somewhere. If not, I might have to go to Walmart and get some more. I know Walmart also has it. But the two Dollar Trees that I went into, the one near me and the one in Waco did not have the black one. Actually, the Waco didn't even have any at all. They had just, you know, whopped them out. So I will be putting some of this rhinestone. If not, I'll just use clear, okay? But I just wanted to let you know that I will be putting some rhinestone also to this one here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is put a band right smack in the middle on this one, just to be different, see? Okay, because I'll have the rhinestone on both sides. Also will have some in here and here, but this is what I'm going to do for this one to make it a little bit different. I don't want them both the same, of course, but before I cut it, I want to make sure it's in there and it is about right. I like to do this because you can wipe then the container off, you know, with a little damp or just whatever cloth, and it's not going, you know, it's not going to collect dust or anything like that. And I live on a dirt, well, I say there's a dirt road right in front of my house, so I don't get a lot of dust, because my house is pretty well insulated, but let me tell you, you still get some. Okay, now just continue, make sure it's about the same all the way around it. put quite a bit because it kind of also seals it, glues it, does everything. And that's what I want. Let's see, make sure I got it saturate that way. And I don't worry too much that it's a little bit wider in one space than the other one, because when it gets wet, you can kind of mold it. You know, that's a nice thing too about the burlap. So it gets molded. See? All right, I'm gonna go ahead and cut this bit of it. Just slightly, I'm talking about a slightly bigger, okay? Barely. Okay, there we go. I just want it to come right like that. Okay, there we go. I think I cut it slightly, but I think it's gonna be fine. And then I don't want it to go overlap because this is gonna be very well. I mean, look at this. I mean, it's gonna be awesome. And it's going to be very nicely and very glued down. So I'm not gonna worry too much about it. See, as you go more and more, it just molds down to the cup. Okay. Of course, you want to do it all the way around it. See? Oops. This is still a little wet, so be careful. I will let it dry probably if I was you. But I'm working on it, you know, like that. So, but I would let it dry. I really would before I actually did anything else to it. Okay, so this is this. Like I said, I'm gonna put bling on it, but I'm gonna wait until it gets good and dry. And also, like I said, I'll have to look for it, and hopefully I will find the black one. If I don't, well, I don't. I guess we'll just figure out something else, won't it? It's what it is. Okay. There we go. There we go. Use your fingers, anything. My fingers, by the time I get done with decoupage, my fingers are just horrible. My whole hand seems like it. And then you just peel it and peel it forever. Okay, see? You can squish them in there, and there we go. Alright, so I'm gonna let that dry, and then we're gonna do the lid. Okay, for the lid, I use the same thing. Alright. And like I said, I didn't put very much, just put enough to kind of go in there. And I'm just going to go over it very carefully. And then go inside. See? And out. How easy can that be? Now it's going to have something else on top, okay? But I just want to let you know that. Okay, I'm going to just barely leave a little ledge around it. And it doesn't matter on this, you know, how it goes, as long as you bring them down. Because this way, when I put whatever, what I'm gonna do next on top of it, it doesn't matter, it's not gonna show, okay? Just bring it down. I just wanna make sure that doesn't show, you know, the very, very edge on the top here. Okay, I think I got it. Let me see. I think I do. Okay, and then just give it a little coat on top. All right, see, that's it. Okay. Now let's see. Now this is my napkin holder that I'm gonna use, and I already done this in here, and then I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. Okay. And even though this stuff is still a little wet, I'll be able to work with it. So, you know. Okay, let me just go ahead and cut it like this, because that's all we need to do. And here we go. Make sure I get the other one. I tell you, I have nails and I don't have nails. That is. I mean, they're long, but not super long. But okay, make sure you take that tissue, very careful, and it comes off very easy. Okay, now. Okay, on this one I just go all the way. I'll just go ahead and do the whole thing, because I'm gonna do like the lid. You're gonna do it all at one time, okay? Alrighty. And there we go. And the only thing that I'm going to do is leave slightly a little bit on the edges, so it will turn, you know, right on, you know, over, to go under a little bit on that thing. See how easy that is? I think when you do it like this, it's so much better. It's easier for it. It doesn't look as wrinkled. This has got a texture, by the way, this particular napkin holder. And I've seen it every way but done except for napkin holder. So I'm doing a napkin holder. And this, of course, is also at a Dollar Tree. So, and then just kind of get all the dents and everything out of the way. And then I'm just gonna, like I said, just leave a little bit. And around here too. Just enough to cover those very, very edges. And of course right here too. All right. Okay, and then once you do that, just get back on your Mod Podge. And here we go. I mean, the inside is not going to show, but it just looks better, the edges to be done. And it's not enough to make that much, you know, it just looks like a little edge on it. But I kind of like it. I like it neat, so that's the way I'm doing it. Okay. And the same thing here. And now just give it a nice little coat of Mod Podge. And let it dry. Okay, there you go. I got both sides. I don't know what I'm gonna do to it. I know I'm gonna paint the base around in pink, okay? So probably won't show anything else on this video until I set it up, in other words, but whatever it is, it's gonna be easy and you'll know what I've done to it, okay? So, but now this is gonna be ready just to actually dry, and I will make this pink, okay? And it's gonna be this color pink. So we got that done. Now let's go back to our lid. Isn't this fun? Okay, here we go. For the lid, what I've done is get a square. You know, it's easy to get a square, but, you know, fold it into a triangle and just cut it across. That's as easy as it gets. And then, of course, I want a round. So I'm just gonna cut the edges a little bit. Okay, and then voila. Okay, it may not be exactly perfect, but it's good enough for me, as they say. I tell you, you start neat, and then before you know it, you have a mess. But that's just the way we do work, right? Okay, let me get some stuff out of the way. And there we go. Oops. Alrighty. So I'm going to place this right in the center. Okay, and Mod Podge it. You don't have to cover the whole thing, and because I'm going to do something around it anyway, okay? So a good coat. Make sure that it's in there to stay. And then it's gonna come the fun, getting all nice and hands and fingers dirty. It's like, this is like working in a mud pie, isn't it? Okay, see, I got that. Alrighty, let me get up for a second, because otherwise, now, what I have done here is, get at least two threads from the burlap, okay? Sometimes you get 3 and it's okay. Just keep on going. Okay, and then just take it off. And if you always pull the front one, the rest of them come easier, see? So anyway, that's what we're doing. And we came out to 4 too. Well, that's okay, no problem. We're doing it anyway. We'll take all the little threads we can get, right? I'm gonna go ahead and do the length of it, because that way I'll have plenty for it, okay? There we go. Okay. And same. And this why my other one in the wreath was all fray, because I was working with a lot of these threads. Oh, Lordy. Okay. So we got all this. Okay, we don't want the short ones. And let me see what we got here. Okay, we'll put this one back too. But here's when it comes messy. Get yourself a handful or more or less of Mod Podge, okay? And just work it as far as you can. And it's not fun, I know, but hey. And then just leave it there for a minute, okay? Then you're gonna start working. I just make a little, I don't really use anything. I use my hands to make a little circle. And I just start rolling. Now what I do is I turn my, to make like a little rope kind of a look, the threads, and I just keep on going. And kind of roll it a little bit. It's like as I go all around. And that's what I do. But we're not going to do this because now that I think about it, I want to do it all the way around this thing. See, look at here. But I'm still going to do the rope. Okay, there we go. And so I turn it and I put it on there, and I turn it and I put it on. And that little bit of, oops, sorry. The little bit of the Mod Podge that this has got is gluing it down, okay? There we go. It kind of gives it another little dimension. And since this little, the little circle that I cut, the threads are kind of, in there, so I don't want it to show. I'll just go ahead and do it this way. Okay, see how I'm turning it a little bit? Making a little rope out of it, really. And it's easy. It's messy, okay? But it's easy. But hey, I don't mind the mess if it's gonna turn out right. There we go. And if you need some more, just go ahead and, work on it a little bit more. I mean, your hand's already messy anyway. You might as well go for it all the way. Okay. And just continue, see? Make sure it kind of has a little, circle on it. There we go. And let's see, one more turn and I think we'll be good. You can put as much or as less as you want to. I just like to make sure that it looks good. There we go. Okay. And I really think it looks pretty darn good. The only thing I'm going to do is these little threads in here, I want to make sure it goes inside. There we go. All right, there we go. I'm picky, what can I say? I think that's enough. So I'm gonna cut it in an angle. That way you don't have, a blunt. You don't have a blunt cut, okay? And just kind of bring it in here. And there it is. Now you will let this dry, okay? And on top of that, what I'm going to do then, I have two pieces in here. One is a little knob, and the other one is kind of a flat, and it has an overlap over it, or a, something like there over it. It's a little piece of wood, and that's all I'm going to put to it. I'm going to paint them pink, glue them together, put my rhinestones or whatever. Actually, I will glue it to the lid first, and then put the rhinestones and whatever, okay? Now, I'm going to do something else in here, and I decided what I want to do is not the cord, but I want to use it for something else, I'm sure. It is this itself. So I'm going to put in here, I'm going to see what I need to cut, and I may just go ahead and put it on, and then cut it. Let's see here. Let me go ahead and, I want to make it as even as possible, okay? So let me go ahead and cut this little bit in here. That's the only thing about burlap, they cut this, they don't cut it straight, they just cut it any way they can. So anyway, this is gonna go right here, and I'm just gonna go ahead and do it as I go along, and then I'll cut it at the end, okay? And if you go over a little bit, it's not going to hurt, on the burlap, it's not going to hurt anything. I like that. See? And now you know why I like this finish here. Now you could do this with the hot glue gun, but I want this to do well. I mean, I don't want it to have to come off or anything. And since this seals it, and that's everything it needs to do, I'd rather take my time. It's not a big deal, really, as far as I'm concerned. and do it right. So you also could use, you know, E6000. I don't think I want to do that, but you can. This is so much quicker, and it's, you know, once it gets the glue in it, it's there until it gets dry, so that's good. Okay. Make sure it comes up a little bit. You want it as much close to the edge as you can, of course, you know. There we go. Oh, this is gonna be good. I can wait. Now I'm gonna go ahead and cut it in here. Okay, hold it. Right in here. For right now, actually I'm gonna cut it all the way around it, just to get me some, uh-oh, it's not biggie. Okay, here we go. Okay. Because this way, oh, that's gonna be so cool. Alrighty. And now I'm gonna finish getting it in there, okay? I'm gonna let this good and dry before I actually cut it, by the way. Make sure you take any little pieces of thread, you know, that might get gotten in there, and, you know, from here, and that's fine. And then I'm gonna put it on something that is not going to go anywhere, like my alcohol bottle, and let it good and dry. And you know, Mod Podge, it dries fairly fast. So this is all I'm gonna do right now as far as this project. And then when it's done, I will show you all together what I've, you know, I will explain if I've done something else to it. I will get the little pieces of wood and show you there what it looked like, okay? And again, I had those forever. And so I'm actually doing a little bit of recycling here, doing, you know, using some of my stuff that I haven't used, and so it's kind of nice. So anyway, and I'll finish it all, and then I'll give you a tour of the coffee bar. So until next time, stay well, stay crafty, and God bless you.